How are you?
Finally got a cat.
I did.
She doesn't listen.
Would it work? I don't know that you want it in pictures, but you know. Oh, I love these. I don't know if I got
Holy crap, got all kinds of stuff here.
Oh yeah, heard about that. Isn't that great?
Right back
have
here.
enough space and stuff.
That's what we normally do.
Extra space.
Just don't forget it.
Dr. Rollins.
Yeah. All squared away.
Yeah. Yeah. All set. Got my tag too. Yeah.
Here, I better take one of yours.
I've got
New choir director.
boy, it's a full house today. Oh.
Hey, Mike. You look great. Good to see you.
I've got one thing. So are these our graduation packets, I assume?
Yes, they are.
So this is
That's good, yeah. Let's see, this is,
this was just blank, so I didn't know. Springdale or not. So we just take those with us.
there's Archer, there's Don Tyson. Which one's this?
I'm guessing Springdale.
Go ahead.
Right?
Springdale. We don't have a hardware.
Or what's in those? Yeah, this is SHS.
That's Springdale.
Springdale.
So,
Yeah.
Good evening. I'd like to welcome you to the May school board meeting. And I suspect someone could tell me how many days of school are left. Busy time of the year, lots to be thankful for. Another successful year, and summer's here. So I'm sure everybody's excited about that. Board, you had the agenda for the meeting. Any questions, comments, changes? Dr. Rollins, any changes to the
The agenda
agenda?
would stand as presented, Mr. President.
I make a motion that we accept the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mrs. Cook and a second by Mr. Luttrell to accept the minutes or the agenda for the meeting. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? We've also had the minutes from the previous meeting. Any questions, comments, or concern about the minutes?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes. That's submitted.
Second.
Have a motion by Mr. Hutchinson, a second by Mrs. Creek to approve the minutes from the previous meeting. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? This is the time set aside for a meeting for patron comments. If anyone has a question, comment, or concern, you can come down to the front, address the board, and just understand we cannot answer your concern tonight, but we'd certainly like to hear from you. There is none. Dr. Rollins?
It's a pleasure for me to welcome everyone as well tonight. And Olivia, if you would come to the microphone. This is Olivia Carter, ladies and gentlemen, our HAR-BER High School rep, and she's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Everybody please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Board, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure for me to give you some personal information about Olivia. First of all, we're so very proud of you. It's just, we say it from time to time, you did it the right way, and you certainly have, and we're all very proud of you. She's a senior at Har-BER High School. Her parent is Joy Carter. Olivia is an AP Scholar of Honor. She's been a member of the National Honor Society. She earned the Global Seal by Literacy. She competed at the international level in the DECA program. She's participated in multiple choirs. She's an accomplished pianist. She has been a leader of her basketball team. She volunteered with various community organizations. She was recently named a Jack Kent Cook Foundation College Scholar, and she will be attending Harvard University. We wish you the very best.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Olivia, I know the board would like to visit with you. Just share how your year's going. Obviously, you're doing some wonderful things. Go from there.
So as Dr. Allen said, I'm a senior at Har-BER. I'm super excited to graduate on Saturday. And this fall, I'll be attending Harvard University in Cambridge, Massachusetts, where I plan to study statistics. So I'll spend my first 4 years concentrating on that. I hope to have their minors are called concentration adjacents, where I hope to focus on applied math and also economics. And long term, I want to take that and open my own financial consulting firm with an emphasis in data analytics for small businesses. And I'm happy to answer any questions you'll have about that. Yes, I have a plan. To say the least. Yes. Math is something, patterns, all of those I kind of have had an aptitude for, and so I'm excited to apply those in a real-world situation.
So what's been your favorite math class?
Statistics. This year I had Mr. Darrell Irvin at Har-BER in the AP class, and he kind of opened the world of statistics to me, and I'd always thought kind of that was something I was interested in, and he really showed me that there was a wide breadth of opportunity within that field, and I'm excited to pursue it at the next level.
Have you always gravitated towards math?
Not in particular. I've been blessed to have an aptitude in lots of areas, but math I have kind of a logistical brain, I guess, in that sense, and so it's been the place that I want to focus my attention most.
What drew you to Harvard? How did that come about?
So I, in the 7th grade, was named a Jack Kent Cook Young Scholar, and throughout my high school experience, I've had an educational advisor with me that whole time, who has kind of helped me navigate through high school, and they, because of my academic, I guess, caliber, pointed me kind of in the direction saying, this is an option for you, and it's a legitimate option. And so starting back in October, I began the application process and pursued that entire avenue of the Ivy League route, I guess. Thank you.
Is it difficult to get into Harvard? No. I'm just curious. Okay, so one of the things in your bio talked about the competing in DECA.
Yes.
What did you do? What was your project or your part of?
I was in the Principles of Finance event, which is a role play, they call it. So essentially, I don't have any preparation set up for me before I go into an event, but when I get there, I have 10 minutes to prepare. They'll give me a scenario in the financial sector of business. And then I have 4, they're called performance indicators. There's 357 that they could choose from, and I will see 4 of them on the day of competition. After that 10-minute prep time, I move into the 10-minute judge time, and so I talk just like this with people and essentially convince them of my knowledge in this role that I'm specified. So I placed first at the state level, and that qualified me to go to the internationals in Orlando this past April.
Good job. Thank you.
You'll be successful with your communications.
Thank you so much.
They really are. I mean, you will be successful.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. She is. She's sitting right there. Anything else?
Olivia, we have a room full of very, very special teachers and administrators, many who are completing their career and others who are being recognized for great work. And my guess is that you've just made each of their hearts leap with your presentation this evening. One more time, will y'all recognize them? Dr. Cleveland, will you come forward and recognize our retiring teachers?
Dr. Rollins, I'd like to request a different section on the agenda, not behind students. They're really hard to follow. Well, tonight is one of those bittersweet nights for all of us. It's an opportunity for us to, as Dr. Rollins said, recognize those who have completed their service, not only to Springdale, but very likely their career. And we have a tremendous group tonight. I'd like to start with the educators, the certified teachers, and we'll go through Coach DeBusk. He'll be the next one. And then we'll follow with our administrators and finally with Dr. Morledge. But this evening, our first retiree is Mr. Rocky Bell, 16 years of service in Springdale School District 33 as in total from Elmdale Elementary School. Rocky Bell. Next, from Springdale High School, 37 years of service in Springdale and in total, Miss Lynn Burlingame. From HAR-BER High School, who's also served in Springdale High School in this district, Mr. Randy Irwin. 37 years, 43 in total.
Thank you.
From Kelly Middle School, 25 years in the district, 32 years in total, Miss Lucinda Files. With that smile, I think she has some plans. A young lady that I know pretty well from Young Elementary, 17 years in Springdale, 32 in the district, Miss Ruth Gerard. From Helen Tyson Middle School, 36 years in total, 15 in the district, Tony Huffman. From Hellstern Middle School, 23 years in the district and in service, Marla Kreider. From HAR-BER High School, 33 years of overall service, 20 to the district, Ms. Kimberly McFarland. From Sonora Elementary School, 15 years of total service, 8 at Sonora, Thomas Northfell. From Springdale High School, 25 years in total service, 15 to the district, Ms. Claire Small. Oh, it's great. No, I don't think so. I won't tell you what she said. In fact, I'll have to get my composure here after that. From Kelly Middle School, 23 years in total, 22 in the district, Elizabeth Terrell. From HAR-BER High School, Library Media Specialist, 36 years in the district, in total, 11 in the district, Miss Kathy Werner. The other teachers who weren't able to be here, I'll just roll through the names just so you know who they are. Miss Deborah Blackburn from Central, Julie Boyd from Smith Elementary School, William Boyd from Don Tyson School of Innovation, Michael Courtney from Springdale High School, Rochelle Ferguson from Smith Elementary, John Heebner from Springdale High, Wendell Northruff, his second retirement, he's actually done it twice, Kathy Prophet, and Miss from Hellstern, and Todd Taylor from Springdale High. Just in case they're watching, let's give them a round of applause for their service. Dr. Rollins and board, the next gentleman has been a coach and a historic figure in Springdale. He started off his career at Heber Springs and has touched my life since I've been here to no end. I'd like to introduce Mr. Dennis DeBusk.
This is a little bit tough. I want to tell you, you're representing a lot of great people that served on a lot of great boards. I've been honored of doing this for 47 years, and I've never considered a job yet have a doctor.
It's a way of life.
Publicly here, I wanted to thank you. I've seen him every year since I've been hired him in the spring. I've gone to him and said, thank you for this opportunity to work here. And I mean it. He's been a great leader, great mentor, and a friend. I remember seeing many years ago Lou Gehrig stand up on a mound in Yankee Stadium, and he had just been diagnosed with his disease and all of this, and he said, I'm the luckiest man in the world. He was second. I've been the luckiest guy in the world. Been blessed with a great family, great friends, and colleagues, and all y'all that are still in the business. Remember one thing, it's all about the kids. Don't lose sight of that. I've been blessed to have kids come back. The happiest I've ever been was working in ISS. That may sound silly, but it's really, you know, when a kid comes into you, they're a bad kid, and they're not, they made mistakes. We got to find what's right for them. And I appreciate every one of y'all, and if you ever need anything, call doctor. No, thank you very much, and thank all of y'all for everything you've done, and continue to make this the best district in the state of Arkansas. Thank you very much.
True gentleman. Thank you, Coach. Don't want to follow him either anymore. Okay. From the Early Childhood Center, we have a principal who's retiring with 26 total years, 22 the district, Miss Darlene Fleeman. Miss Darlene?
didn't want to follow Mr. DeBus there, but anyway, thank you, board. It's been great. Dr. Rollins, thank you. 20 years in this district, 13 years as pre-K director. We started with 60 kiddos, and we have over 1,458 today. And great teachers, great parapros. We couldn't do it without our floaters and our cafeteria. It takes the village to raise a pre-K child. It really does. And anyway, I just feel very blessed and thankful that I've had this opportunity and very proud. And I know it, I told Dr. Rollins, it might be the second largest in our state, but it's the first best. And I know that with all the teachers and leaders, it's going to just continue to be even better. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fleeman. From Westwood Elementary School, she served in several different capacities in the district, 32 total years, and I believe all in this district, Ms. Janet Harris.
Well, I can just say thank you. It's been wonderful. Not only 32 years teaching, but I was a student here, and everything, Springdale's everything to me. And I just want to thank you all. I want to thank Dr. Rollins. It's been an amazing career. Loved every minute of it. And I'm going to love every minute of just being able to be a patron and be here with you all in a different capacity, because I got a lot of years left, I'm hoping, in a whole different way. But it's been wonderful, and I couldn't have asked for anything better for myself and for my family, and Springdale is the place to be. My son has already just got married, and he's living in Springdale because he wants his children to be in Springdale schools. So very excited, and thank you very much.
From Bay Ari Elementary School with 41 total years of service, 37 to Springdale, Ms. Martha Walker.
Well, it has been an honor and a privilege to be working in Springdale. I'm a Springdale girl, went to school in this very building. Actually, my fourth grade year was in Dr. Rollins' office. So it has been quite a journey, and a wonderful journey at that. I have had several roles in Springdale and have enjoyed every one of them. It's never, I think Coach DeBest said, it's never felt like a job, and it has been a wonderful career, and I'm looking forward to the next step. I told Dr. Rollins when I went to talk with him and tell him that I was planning to retire that I'm not really going to be leaving Springdale. I have 6 grandchildren who will be going through Springdale schools. My granddaughter told me the other day that her principal told her I was welcome to work all I wanted to at her school next year. So I'll still be, I'm sure, listening to kids read, teaching somebody to read. That's what I've done for all these years of my career. And I thank you all for the privilege and the opportunity to do that. And thank you, Dr. Rollins.
Finally, we have a great example for the state who's mentored and taught many superintendents, many administrators, principals, teachers across the state, and really taught me to be a better leader, and I appreciate her greatly, Dr. Kathy Morledge. She has
Well, I have made it this far without any tears, but I'm not sure I'll make it through this one. I started my career 45 years ago at Central Junior High when it was in the flat building. I taught there for just 2.5 years and went back to my hometown in North Little Rock and worked there for 24 years. And in all that time, I've been a teacher, I've been a counselor, I've been an assistant principal, an instructional specialist, I've been a curriculum developer, professional developer. I went from there to the Arkansas School Boards Association, and there I wore a lot of different hats. And from there, I went to the Arkansas Leadership Academy and had the privilege of designing the Master Principal Institute. But something was always missing, and it was the kids and the teachers and the principals and the real people who were here with their boots on the ground. So I had to come back full circle, and I came back to Springdale, and a couple years later, my son followed me, and he had the wisdom to marry a Springdale girl who is also a Springdale teacher. And he would also like to be a Springdale teacher and raising my grandson right here in Springdale. So when Dr. Rollins asked me to be an assistant superintendent, it was like somebody said, there is the most fantastic parade going on over there, and I'm going to put you in front of it, make you the leader. I'm going, oh, yes, this is a great thing. So it has been an honor, a privilege, a joy over the last 45 years to serve as an educator. When people ask me, oh, are you a teacher? I always say yes. If they want to know any more, I'll tell them more, but I am a teacher. I will be for all my life. I thank you, and I thank all of you. It has been a great journey, and I am ready for the next leg of this journey. Thank you.
Dr. Rollins, I just want to ask the room, if I've missed anyone, please let me know. I don't want to miss anyone ever. Okay, that concludes my portion. Thank you.
What a beautiful experience. I want to say a special thanks to each of you. It's the tradition of the school district that each of you have helped create. It's the tradition of the school district that those who follow us will build on. Thank you all very much. One more time. Dr. Smith, we have another very special group of teachers to recognize. We'll look forward to that as well.
Thank you, Dr. Rollins, board. Man, that was a lot of years of dedication, and a lot of my colleagues and friends and mentors will not be here next year, but I know they're just a phone call away, so I'm just letting them know to keep their phones always turned on. I now have the pleasure of announcing 12 amazing educators. The secondary staff in our district, the 12 secondary schools from middle schools, junior highs, and high schools, each have elected or submitted the names of their building teacher of the year, and at this time I'd like to recognize them. At the end of that, I will then announce which one of these individuals will be representing us for the Arkansas Teacher of the Year. So you have the certificates for them, so I'm going to ask them if they will please, when I call their name, I'm going to read just a little bit about them, if they will please come forward and receive their certificate, and if they will please stay at the front of the room so we can make sure that we get a picture of these individuals. So the first one is Holly Baskey. She's from Archer Learning Center. She is an English teacher at Archer Learning Center. Throughout her 11 years in public education, she has served both elementary and secondary schools. She leads by example in her classroom, setting high expectations for students to become empathetic, civic-minded, and lifelong learners. That is Ms. Holly Baskey. I'm going to have you, if you want to stand over here, that would be great. Yeah, thank you. Yes, that would be perfect, yes. Aaron Tinnen is from Don Tyson School of Innovation. He has earned his bachelor's degree in English literature from Hendrix College in 2004, and he earned his master's degree in secondary English from the University of Arkansas in 2011. He's taught at Archer Learning Center, and he currently teaches sixth grade English Language Arts at the Don Tyson School of Innovation. In July, he is slated to receive his Educational Specialist degree from Arkansas State University. Very good. Thank you. Carla Sprague from HAR-BER High School. Ms. Sprague is a 21-year veteran teacher and has been a member of the HAR-BER High School staff for 13 years. She is a graduate of the University of Central Arkansas in Conway. She is also National Board Certified, and she currently serves as the president of the Arkansas Scholastic Press Association. Mr. Chad Burgett from Springdale High School. Mr. Burgett is a long-life resident of Springdale and is a graduate of Springdale High School. He attended the University of Arkansas and graduated with a bachelor's degree in poultry science. He holds a master's degree in general agriculture. He worked in the poultry industry before coming into teaching, and he is currently teaching at Springdale High School. Philip Mazanin from Central Junior High School. Mr. Mazanin is a graduate of the University of Arkansas, where he received a Bachelor's of Arts in English and Master's of Arts in Teaching. He has spent all of his 19 career years at Central Junior High teaching all levels of English arts. He has served as the Arkansas Frameworks Revision Committee as well. And we have Miss Sally Jamison from George Junior High School. Ms. Jamison completed her degree in science education in 1999 from Indiana University of South Bend. She's taught in Indiana, North Carolina, Northwest Arkansas, and she's currently teaching 9th grade physical science and pre-AP 8th grade physical science. She has received her ESL endorsement. She's certified in EMINS, and she's currently working on her National Board certification. Okay, and as I have the next 6 come forward, if they'll take a slot on this side, please. Mr. Joel Lookadoo from Lakeside Junior High School. Joel Lookadoo is a 9th grade Algebra 1 teacher and has been teaching for 6 years. He received his bachelor's degree in secondary math education from the University of Central Arkansas and his master's degree in educational leadership from Arkansas State University. He teaches advanced, regular, and inclusion Algebra 1. He is certified in ESL, PE, health, math, and recently received his building administration. He's also National Board certified. Afton Shalif from Southwest Junior High School. Ms. Shalif has earned a bachelor's degree in English and a master's degree in teaching from the University of Arkansas. She completed a specialist degree in educational leadership from Arkansas State University. During her 12 years with the Springdale School District, she's taught all levels of English and is a National Board certified. She has served as the lead teacher in the English department for the last 8 years. Ms. Stephanie Little from J.O. Kelly Middle School. Ms. Little is a National Board certified teacher. Currently, she teaches 6th grade English Language Arts. She's earned her master's degree in educational leadership, achieved her ESL teaching certificate, and attended the Arkansas Teacher Leadership Academy. She also facilitates large support groups in the state who are, for individuals who are seeking their National Board certification. I know it's a lot of clapping, but they are so deserving of it. So, Mr. Clint Penalto from Hellstern Middle School. He's in his 19th year of teaching choral music, and he's currently the 7th grade choral director at Hellstern Middle School. He is a product of the Springdale School, and he is a graduate of the University of Central Arkansas. He served in a number of different leadership positions, both at the state, national, and regional levels. Marley Hannaford from Sonora Middle School. Marley Hannaford holds a bachelor's degree in English education, a master's degree in special education. She's currently a special education teacher at Sonora Middle School. She pushes all of her students to be educated in the general education environment and has succeeded in creating an environment of acceptance and respect. And Denise Parkhurst from Helen Tyson Middle School. Ms. Parkhurst has completed her 28th year of teaching music, 12 years in Springdale School District. She currently is the 6th and 7th grade choir and music teacher at Helen Tyson Middle School. She received her bachelor's degree in music education from John Brown University and master's in music education from the University of Arkansas. She holds national board certification, and she is also ESL endorsed. So I'd like to do two quick things. One, if you're here to support one of these individuals, would you please stand? Family members, educators, building leaders. So I want to tell you a little bit about what it took to be here. So first of all, they had to write what I would consider a dissertation. So they had to describe lessons that they've taught. They had to talk about the engagement of all learners. They had to talk about growth. They had to have how what they do improves the overall culture of their building. They had to talk about what they do transcends the classroom. And then they had to talk about what they would address in a political setting. And so it was quite extensive. It is the same requirements as if they were working on their national Teacher of the Year. So anyway, just amazing. At this time, Dr. Rollins, can I have you please come forward and help me recognize the individual that will represent Springdale? Sure. You want to do that? That would be excellent.
All on one side where I can get all of you here, it'd be great.
Yes, I did. Yes.
As long as I know everybody's face, we're okay.
Everybody needs to be able to see Rick, or he won't be able to see you. Very simple photography.
That's why they call them what?
Photo bomb.
And you guys can just stay right there. It'll be great. This will be fine. So I just want to thank all of you for the dedication that you give to Springdale schools and for what you do for students every day. As we had a team of people going through, it is amazing the work that you're doing, and you are to be commended. I wish that every single teacher up here right now could represent us at the state level. Unfortunately, they only allow one person from the district to represent Springdale. So I want to read just one little thing. This is from the Arkansas Department of Ed. It says, "The classroom teacher is the backbone of the American education system. No one person has a greater impact on the education of a child than does the teacher who creates the primary learning and instructional environment." So thank you. So at this time, we would like to announce that the teacher that will be representing Springdale schools in the 2019-20 Arkansas Teacher of the Year program is Joel Lookadoo from Lakeland. Did you have anything you'd like to say? The work has just started, though.
Well, just want to say thank you. There are so many deserving people, like Dr. Smith said. I mean, there's just, even within each building, we could fill this room up with people who are doing great things. So it's a great honor and really appreciate it, for sure. Thank you.
So one of the commitments is if he goes through the application with all the other individuals in the state, and if chosen, he will actually be removed from the school district for 1 year while he travels and the state as the Arkansas Teacher of the Year. So it is just beginning, and we will, he's got a few weeks before applications are due, and he'll have to take all the work that he's done and build it together into his portfolio that he submits. So thank you very much. Exciting. Ben? The second item is if I could have Mr. Ben Lagrone come forward. I know we have a lot of new board members. I wanted to we use a lot of acronyms in education. And so when we received our Race to the Top grant, we had something called a TOSA, Teacher on Special Assignment. And when the time came back around, we interviewed and hired individuals that we called our instructional specialists. So you will hear some people say TOSAs, you'll hear some people say instructional specialists. They're very much the same individuals, but we just got different names for them. In the building level, we have instructional facilitators. So you'll see that in IS for instructional specialists, IF for instructional facilitators. Mr. Ben Lagrone, he's one of our instructional specialists at the district office. He's done some amazing work. He's really taken the lead on social studies, but he's also done an amazing job of taking that and integrating it with the ELA standards to make sure that when we're providing support for our students, it's the most integrated and powerful thing that we can do. At this time, though, I'm going to have him share out a little bit about the National History Day and Arkansas, also about Arkansas Geography Bee. So if he can come forward, please.
Okay, good evening. So I have some exhibits for you guys. In page 19 to 21, you see a report on National History Day this year, as well as Geography Bee this year in Springdale. And I wrote myself some abbreviated notes because, you know, as history teachers can be long-winded. So, and I'm also going to have my partner in crime, Dr. Jamie Forrester. She's going to come up here too, from Northwest Arkansas Community College. We're going to share a little bit and recognize some students. So, National History Day is a project-based program and national competition for 6th to 12th grade students. They conduct in-depth research and creatively express their interpretations through essays, performances, websites, documentaries, and museum exhibits. This year I worked alongside Dr. Jamie Forrester at NWAC to grow an elementary regional-only poster contest for 4th and 5th grade students to be introduced to the NHD process. We had 11 of our elementary schools step up and to try it out this year. It was pretty incredible. Next, you'll see a chart, just Springdale participation by the numbers. And look at this total. 1,273 students did a National History Day project this year in Springdale. They would conduct school-wide competitions, and 274 of those qualified for regionals. That includes the elementary students. And we had 23 of those qualify to go to state, which is pretty tough. 7 of those were finalists. One of them was a special prize winner. We're going to announce them here in a bit. And 4 of those students are going to be traveling to Washington, D.C. in June to represent our district at the national competition. So on your handout, you see a list of the schools that participated. And then I'm going to go ahead and introduce Dr. Jamie Forrester, NWAC. She's the history professor. She's the NHD coordinator for our whole region, and I'll just brag on her. She sacrifices a lot for our district. We are hands down the top performing region. Northwest Arkansas is in the state. We send a lot of people to nationals, and she works really hard. She goes to the school. She works with these kids personally, and we've had a good time this year. So she's going to introduce these state finalists and our special prize recipient.
I asked Ben to write down what he wanted me to say because, like he said, I'm a history professor, so I can be really long-winded. I am honored to be here representing Northwest Arkansas Community College as the National History Day Regional Coordinator for the state of Arkansas for Region 10. We had a really big contest, regional contest this year with over 5,000 students in Northwest Arkansas creating History Day projects, and about 600 of them were competing at Northwest Arkansas Community College in March. So I'm very, very thankful. The state competition was held last month at the University of Central Arkansas in Conway, and Springdale students worked tremendously hard and created some really stunning projects. In fact, I personally think there should be a lot more that I'm going to announce here, but I'm not a judge at the state contest. So we'll move on from that. Those that placed in the top 2 will travel to actually College Park, Maryland, but they'll get to tour DC and see a lot of great things. And that is June the 9th through the 13th. Those who placed in 3rd place, unfortunately, they do not get to go, but they qualified for special awards. So that's where our special prize winner came from as well. She also placed 3rd. 1st and 2nd place are not allowed to win special prizes at state. We try to, hand out more of the prize money to more students. And so since 1st and 2nd place gets the trip, we try to hand out more of those special prizes to those 3rd and 4th place winners. So with my pleasure, I'm going to announce these finalists to y'all. And then also, just on a side note, I want to say how very proud I am to not only be a professor at Northwest Arkansas Community College and being able to work with the Springdale School District for the last 8 years with History Day, but now I'm a parent of 2 of Springdale School District's students, and I am very honored to have my children in the school district. So I'll just put that out there. All right, so if the students, when I announce you, if you'll come up to the side, and we'll get pictures as well. So for our overall special prize, also placing 3rd at the state competition is Dakota Young from Hellstern Middle School. She was in junior individual performance. Mike, you know how tough that is. She was in junior individual performance. And she placed 3rd. This is her first time ever in National History Day, so that in and of itself is amazing. And then she also received the Outstanding Military History Prize. And I want her father to stand up. Yes. Her project was based on her dad's story, so I'm really impressed that she took it to that level. It was amazing. Yes. All right, our other 3rd place winners are Brooklyn Farmer from Central Junior High School. She was Junior Division Individual website. Brooklyn has been an honor to work with. I'm very, very proud of you, and personal opinion, you should be going to DC with us. All right. Our other 3rd place winner from Springdale was Calvin Ryersey from Don Tyson School of Innovation. He cannot be here tonight because he's at his sister's choir concert. But one thing I do want to say about Calvin is I have been working with him since he was in 8th grade. We started the National History Day program when SOI began. And these seniors that are graduating, I may cry here. Marion, you may have to pull me out of this one. The seniors that are graduating this year are very special, very special. But Calvin has been competing in documentary since the 8th grade. He placed 3rd this year. He has gone to nationals before. So he was sitting beside me at state, and we kind of had, that moment of he's not going to nationals. But he has been accepted, and I'm going to read this, to Lang College of Liberal Arts at the New School in New York City, where he will be majoring in film with an emphasis in documentary work. So I think I have a small part in that, and I'm very excited about that for him. He was able to meet, Ken Burns at the national contest when he was our special speaker, and I think that really impacted him a great deal. In fact, I think Ken Burns had to run away from him because he was holding on to him, wanting to talk to him so much. So, all right. Told you I can talk forever, sorry. All right, so 2nd place, Nolan Vondran from HAR-BER High School. Nolan is very dedicated, and he placed third for the last 3 years at state. This year, he's going to nationals. So let's give him another round of applause because his determination, I'm just really impressed, and I can't wait to see what you do at nationals. All right, and our first place winners would be Brady Billingsley and Macy Weiler from Central Junior High School. Brady cannot be here because he's in a band concert. And then Macy and Brady were in separate groups last year. Or actually, Brady did a performance, and they teamed up. And when they told me they were teaming up to do a website, I was like, oh, I'm so excited because that's like a super team. And sure enough, they ended up placing first in the senior division as 9th graders. That's a really big deal. Because they were competing against all those Little Rock seniors. You get my point? Yeah, they did awesome. I'm really excited for them. All right, and our last first place winner is Dulce Favila from Don Tyson School of Innovation. I'm really excited for Dulce. I've been working with her for many years as well. She's very quiet, but a powerhouse and world lookout. She will be going to Northwest Arkansas Community College in the fall, which I'm really excited about because I'm going to actually get to have her as a student for real, like my student. And she has already told me she's going to help with the National History Day program once she's up there. So I'd like y'all to give a round of applause to Also, the National History Day program would not be even possible without our teachers who have their feet on the ground. I have people ask me all the time, like, how do you get the NHD involved in the schools? And it's the teachers. If the teachers have the passion for it, it's going to thrive. And so, and here in Springdale, we have a lot of teachers who are passionate about history, so I'm really, really excited. So if you're a teacher and you're here and you've either participated in National History Day or are a parent, either one, teachers or parents, please stand up and let's give you applause as well. Anything else? Okay, guys, they want a photo of y'all. Did he get it? You good? You're so quick.
Good job.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
We also have some students that we're going to recognize. I'm not sure if all of them are going to be here tonight, but we wanted to talk about Geography B. So these are the school champions that qualified to go to the state competition at UCA last March. To qualify, you have to hold a school-wide GOB, compete against your fellow students, and then you take an online qualifying exam. And you actually have to place in the top 100 of the entire state to qualify to then go down to the Arkansas GOB. This is open for 4th grade to 8th grade. So these elementary students you're going to see, they're competing against 8th graders in that qualifying exam. So they went down in March. And we didn't have any finalists. We have, Springdale has a history of doing this for decades. This year we didn't have any finalists, but I was there. They worked really hard. They studied for weeks, showed a lot of grit, integrity, and maturity as they represented their schools during the 2-hour competition. And let me tell you, it was pretty intense. They endured a lot. They were sweating bullets because it's intense down there at the Arkansas B. So I want to recognize these 11 students for representing our district. So when I call your name, you can come up to the front. We have Giovanni Seja from HAR-BER Elementary. Is he with us tonight? Okay. McKenna Badone from Hunt Elementary. August Norman from Lee Elementary. Chad McDowell from Monitor Elementary. Sarah Winters from Walker Elementary. Aiden Rosenshine from Helen Tyson Middle School. Quinn Napolitano from Hellstern Middle School. Eric Alberon from J.O. Kelly Middle School. Valeria Martinez Arajo from Sonora Middle School. Sydney Johnson from Central Junior High. And lastly, Mark Willits from Don Tyson School of Innovation. If you were a parent of one of these GOB participants, would you please stand? And then we also want to recognize the teachers who partner with them and got them studied up and ready for the competition. Did we get our picture? All right. Great job, guys. Thank you so much.
The next item on the agenda is I would like to recognize some of the individuals that are going to be going to Arkansas Governor's School. So I'm going to have them come forward. Keep in mind that when they return, that's when all the excitement will probably really be happening. But at this time, if I could have Bryant Cassidy and Gavin Pittman please come forward. And I'd like to give a little of the set, and then I'll have them just share out for a little bit. But Arkansas Governor's School was established in 1980, and they have approximately 400 students each year that attend. Arkansas Governor's School is a 4-week summer program, and this year it's July 7th through August 3rd, and it's for students that are upcoming seniors. It's founded by the Arkansas State Legislation, and they provide the tuition, the room, board, instructional materials for the students. They have a lot of different things that they cover, but they're selected on their base of a special aptitude in one of these areas, from choral music, drama, English language arts, instrumental music, mathematics, natural science, social science, or visual arts. And if you'll look on page 22, you'll see what these individuals were chosen for in which particular area. Students are nominated by their schools, and they have to go through an application process, and then it is sent to the Arkansas Department of Ed, where they then pick the top qualifying individuals. And during their experience, they talk about the components that they like to address. They're going to have a series of either 10 to 12 nationally renowned guest speakers. They'll have a series of films of intellectual significance that they will be going over, and then the school's own series of students' performances that will be taking place. So at this time, I'd like these two individuals to maybe give a little bit about why they chose to do this. Again, this is a 4-week commitment in the summer, so I'll let them share out. Could you let them know what school you're from?
Okay. I'm Gavin Pittman from HAR-BER High School, and if I'm being honest, I was a little pushed by my mom. But the reason I applied was to broaden the academic side of my knowledge because I'm in football, I was in band, I'm in the APs, but I don't have many connections outside of just school. So this was a way to learn some new stuff, learn about some, well, for lack of a better word, some funky stuff, holograms and all that, while also gaining some connections and just some new experiences.
So I'm Bryant. I'm from the Don Tyson School of Innovation, and so if you saw, I was accepted into cybersecurity, and so I chose to apply to Governor's School. One, because I think it's a great opportunity just to kind of get the college experience and just kind of learn how things in college work. And I also think it's a great opportunity to, like Gavin said, learn new things. But I also think networking will be very beneficial there, and I'll be able to meet a lot of new people who can get me connections and things like that. if you guys
Can I
have
ask a
any
question real quick?
Yeah.
I'm just curious, with both, you're both juniors. I've known you both for a long time. What are you kind of thinking next after high school? Why don't you kind of share that with us a little bit? And if you don't know, that's okay too.
I can go first. So I plan on majoring in computer science in college, and so I've toured some universities, and right now I'm looking at Rice University in Houston as my top choice. So yeah, that's kind of my.
Currently, right now, ACU and then majoring in kinesiology looks like a very good idea.
Yeah, good.
Sorry, UCA. UCA.
I got it.
Thank you.
Item number 4, I'm actually seeking board approval for this. Item number 4 is titled Computer Science Independent Study, and I am seeking board approval. I wanted to give you a little bit of a foundation. Recently, some of the standards were rewritten. As you know, the governor's push is toward computer science, and we are doing some amazing work in Springdale schools. In case you don't know, they reach out to Springdale schools and the educators here, and they're the ones that are actually writing the curriculum for what's happening. And if Springdale says this is something we'd be interested, they say, go ahead and write the frameworks for it, and let's try to push it through. And so Ms. Small tonight, who is retiring, she actually pushed through some of the robotics, computer science, and so we're doing some amazing things. But what I'm requesting is that we seek approval for an independent study. And for you to understand the reason behind this is on page 23, there are 4 different routes that students can take in the computer science. And if you'll notice in the middle column, each one of these has a course code. Those course codes are actually representing a semester course. So if you'll notice, if you count them up, that's only 2 years. So our students start in 10th grade taking these courses, and by the end of the 11th grade year, they've met the requirements of meeting these pathways. So the State Department has allowed us to move forward with an independent study program as long as it has local board approval. And as you know, with Dr. Rollins, we talk about our partnerships with our community. We talk about personalizing the learning. You know, in elementary, we're hearing about our passion projects and, of course, our computer science and innovation. And if you'll look at the bottom of page 23, we have some very specific criteria. We want our students that have taken these courses prior to it and earned a 2.75 GPA in the classes. The process will be that the student, their teachers, and parents will sit down and actually create an individualized plan to help the student move forward with independent studies in computer sciences. They'll require to meet certain tasks, and they will be graded. The majority of these pages are the rubric of grading those tasks. The students, after 60 hours, will receive a half credit, and if they continue on and receive another 60 hours for a total of 120 hours, they will receive a full a full credit in computer science. So at this point, at this time, we're asking for board approval for us to allow independent studies to be offered in our high schools to help support students in their senior years to personalize their learning and provide opportunities for seeking independent study both within the district and outside of the district. And I will be more than happy to answer questions about that if you do have any.
Second. Second.
We have a motion by Mrs. Creek and a second by Mr. Emerson. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Excellent, thank you. The next item is about Miss Tara Hodge, who is a teacher at Monitor. I'm going to ask Miss Maribel just to come introduce her since she is at Monitor currently and is doing some amazing things. But I want you to know that she has also will be moving from the position she's in to an East facilitator at Monitor, which we'll be having one next year. So I'll just let her introduce Ms. Hodge.
Well, I'm very excited to introduce Tara because she is a great teacher. I just learned something new about Tara a few minutes ago, and I wish Coach DeBusk was still here. He once gave her detention. And if he were still here, I would thank him for setting her straight so she could grow up to be such a great Springdale teacher. So if you see him, tell him thank you. Tara is a 5th grade teacher at Monitor Elementary School, and I would love to say that she has a real passion for STEM education, but she really just has a passion for helping students be problem solvers and thinkers and innovators. If you were at our school board luncheon, you may have gone into her classroom. She was the science classroom where students were practicing justification and explanation. She is here tonight for us to honor her for an article that she just has published, but this is actually her 3rd article to be published in 3 years, all 3 in different types of STEM education national publications. So love that not only is Tara a great innovative teacher, but she has a desire to share what she knows with others so that other students can benefit from her knowledge, not just the ones in our school. So, Tara Hodge.
Hi. I brought notes not because I'm long-winded, but because I tend to be goofy. So I want to say, first of all, thank you, board, and thank you, Dr. Rollins, for allowing me to teach in Springdale. I honestly believe that I get to serve the best students in the best place and absolutely with the best educators. And I can't believe that I get to do what I do every day. Students need STEM. And the reason they need STEM at an elementary level is because if they don't have that early access to it, they're never going to see themselves as programmers or scientists or developers. And by 2030, which is when my current students will be 22, over 70 million jobs in the United States will be automated. And we think, oh, well, that's not going to happen here in Northwest Arkansas. But almost 50% of jobs in Northwest Arkansas could be replaced by automation. So it's important that our students are prepared for a future that we can't see. And it's really hard to prepare students for a future that we can't see. And the way we do that is we make them critical thinkers and problem solvers and creative and teach them how to collaborate. And if they can do those 4 things, they're successful no matter where they go. So when they become a scrub robot plastics engineer, which is something we've never heard of because it's not invented yet, they know how to be successful in that. And so I am just so excited about the opportunity to teach students and to teach STEM and just to be able to help our students develop into the leaders they need to be. That's all.
Did you deserve the detention?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
I didn't think that actually existed.
Terry, your work
That was a
fits
myth.
beautifully into our next steps as we stretch and grow and try to personalize. Thank you for helping us figure out how to do that. We're very proud of you. Good job. I think you would agree. This is one of the most special board meetings we've had, and I'm so glad we could share this with you.
And I'm so glad to be a part of it.
11 years ago, we met this wonderful lady. This is Sharon Darling. She's been in our district many times. She has been at the center of our family literacy work for these years. As you know, we started with 3 schools. Today is 20, 18, 19, 20. We're on our way. And I want you to know, before I lose the thought, this morning, as we planned in our weekly planning meeting, and we looked at the number, we made a commitment among our staff to have family literacy in each of our schools. So we're moving the model forward.
I don't know if you're supposed to hug the superintendent in front of the school board or not.
This lady has been recognized at the highest levels in our country by educators, by our president, by the U.S. Department of Education, by so many meaningful organizations. but I know personally that there's no recognition that will mean more to her than to see our families graduate tomorrow. This is what we've been about, Kevin, all these years. And Mr. Ormby will help us with the presentation tomorrow, but we'll have Mary 223, something to that effect. Moms and dads graduating from Springdale's Family Literacy Program. Thank you for your help, for your contribution. We started with three schools, and then we've grown it and grown it and grown it. And it's always been our goal for it to rise up through the interest of our teachers and principals. Mike, I've heard our mayor say over and over and over again, if it wasn't for the school system, our community might be really splintered and divided because so much new came to the district from all over the world. But our great teachers, working with our parents, created a partnership that the National Centers for Family Learning is all about. She helped us understand the model. She supported us when we were really learning each step of the way, and she's never left us, not one day. We're so glad you're here tonight.
Well, thank you so much.
I'm just proud of you. Please.
Well, it's just such a pleasure, and this was just a joy tonight. You know, sometimes I look at school board members and I think, oh my gosh, you know, you volunteer your time. You have really a lot of responsibility in addition to your lives already. And I think, wow, you know, that must be so hard. And there's so many sometimes things that you have to deal with. And, you know, then when I think about tonight and what I saw here, and I think this is the joy, this is the wonderful thing to see all the accomplishments of students and the teachers who are retiring and all the people that they've touched and the lives that have changed, and then to see the honors that people have worked hard to have. And then, you know, my part of it is to see the parents, you know, the parents' support for their children and how proud they must be of their children. So family literacy, you know, I'm the kind of person that, you know, if you come into a cocktail party, you kind of look at me and gravitate to the other side of the room because I'm going to talk to you one more time about the role of parents and how important it is that we do family literacy, because that is what we need to do. So when we think about that, I think, you know, children now spend 91% of their time from the time they're born until they're 18 in the home and the community. And if we can turn that engine into an engine for support for the schools and education, you know, we can take all of the innovations in our schools and our great teaching, and we can move that forward at warp speed, as opposed to sometimes feel like you're pushing a rope. You know, you'll get there, but without the home and the family and the support and the same messages about education in the home, and building on the love that parents have for their children. Every parent wants better for their children. And many parents don't have the literacy skills, they don't have the English skills, they don't feel confident that they can help their children, and they don't feel that they know and they've not had modeled for them in their own home. So to bring parents and children together in learning is a very, very powerful way to really influence the next generation and to make a difference in the schools as well. I just saw Regina Stuman when I was coming in, and the principal, and she said, you know, it changed my whole practice, having family literacy in my school and learning about what deep parent engagement can do. So I'm so proud of Springdale, and I can tell you that we work in 150 school districts across the country, 38 states, 49 Native American reservations. So I have an opportunity to meet many superintendents. I have an opportunity to work with many school districts. But I can tell you that your superintendent, Dr. Rollins, if I could clone him, I know that's not very popular anymore, but if we could just take him, take his energy, his passion, his drive for excellence and his heart to all the school districts in this country, we would be way ahead of closing the achievement gap. So I'm honored to have met Dr. Rollins because he's inspired me greatly. And Mary Bridgeforth, who's given her heart and soul to family literacy to make it work. So it's just such a pleasure to be here. And you know, when we think about all the statistics that we know about parents' role in their child's education, and particularly parents who don't have the skills, we often think about it's children in poverty. That children in poverty have all these challenges, and so we need to do more for children in poverty. But we don't step back and think, you know, there really are no poor children in the country. There are children who live with poor adults. The adults need help. They're just as much at risk as their children. If we can offer them, it's kind of like if you're on an airplane, which I am most of the time, and the oxygen mask drops from the ceiling, you're supposed to put the oxygen mask on your nose and face first and then help your child. And that's exactly what we're trying to do in family literacy. help the parents get the skills, the knowledge, and the confidence they need. And then they're going to be the ones who are going to support education in the schools and make sure that their children are getting the best of the education opportunities. So I want to just say to you that I am just thinking that Springdale School District is the best that I've encountered. I mean, I know I travel around and there are lots of pockets of excellence and there are people doing some great work, but it's across the board here. You know, the leadership trickles down to excellent teaching, and then that trickles down to excellent instruction. And everybody is so serious about making a difference for children. So congratulations to you for, you know, your support and advice and governance of this district, because you're doing great work in family literacy, and we're very proud. And I can't wait to see that sea of faces tomorrow of parents and children. So, and I can tell you that parent engagement pays off. I mean, we just had a randomized control trial for 5 years looking at children who had been in family literacy programs with their parents, comparing those to other children, and this was in poverty situations. And what we found was that the children who had been in family literacy continued to go way above those others as they went through school. So we had preschoolers all the way through 4th grade. But the other astounding thing was that they had 16 more days of attendance each year than their peers. That equates to almost a year extra when they get to high school. So we know that parent engagement is not just a nice to do, and you know that in Springdale, and thank you. It's been a pleasure to be here with you.
Tell the board about tomorrow and invite them and
Okay.
make sure they know.
I think most of you are coming, if not all of you are coming tomorrow. We'll be at Springdale High School tomorrow morning at 9:30, and Sharon will be our keynote speaker. We're so honored that she is here. She's our special guest speaker. So it will be a wonderful event, and we are looking forward to seeing all of you there tomorrow and celebrating our parents and our families. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, so we're going to move from one graduation celebration to the next graduation celebration. So if you look on page 36 and 37, it's actually the same information on 2 pages. One of them, and I know numbering might be a little off this time, but the second page really just has an outline of specific days and times, and you can see exactly what's happening. But what I'd like to do at this time, because so many of you have not participated in a graduation ceremony, we have approximately 1,400 students, and on the page of 36, you'll see at the top the expected number of graduates. That normally goes up a little bit as we get a little closer to graduation. But at this time, I would like to invite the 4 administrators forward. We're going to have them speak in the order in which graduation is going to occur. So I'll first have Dr. Davis share out about Archer's graduation. Then that will be followed by Ms. Tischer, who will be the Saturday morning. Then Mr. Jones, and then Dr. Grebe. And so I'm going to have them share out about. Please feel free to ask them any questions or clarifying thoughts on what they need, that you might need to know prior to Friday and Saturday.
Well, we're excited. We're very excited about Friday night. As of right now, as of hot off the press when I left school, I think we have 101 that will be graduating from Archer, so I'm pretty excited about that. I'm hoping it's going to be more. I mean, there's still a couple that could make it across that we don't know about yet, but we're working on it every day. This has been a very exciting year, and so you should have a packet like this one. I just want to, this isn't really what I'm here to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it. There's a page in the beginning that we put in. It's about the 4th page in. That's just some of the fun stuff that has happened this year with our graduates. And that's changing every day. I mean, like, it is changing all the time. It's this page, and it just talks about, and this is stuff that we've not always highlighted. And I just wanted you to look at that because I think it's been fun to be a part of those things. I mean, more than 1/3 of our kids have been accepted into a program of some sort. For the first time, we're collecting to see about how much money we're raising. That's up to over $300,000 now, which is big for us when we haven't necessarily always looked at how much student aid has been coming in. And so we're really, really excited. I think we have one of the best classes we've had since I've been at Archer, and I don't know about in its history, so I'm super excited about it. I know that we want you to be there, and we want you to feel comfortable with your part of the presentation. There's a couple things that have changed for you that have done it before. We've changed some things because we think our group is so amazing. We even made graduation a little bit more amazing. It will still be at Springdale High, and we invite you to be there about 6:30. You'll park on the southeastern side of the building. There's a parking lot over there. It's where we've always parked, kind of entering back there by the band. You'll come in about 6:30 in that secondary band room, the smaller band room where we've always had. We'll have a hospitality room there. I think Miss Davis is planning some heavy hors d'oeuvres, so I don't think it's a real dinner, but there'll be some food for you there. Hopefully you all can enjoy and relax just a moment before you're on stage. Something that has changed that's quite different, you will actually be a part of our processional now. All of the superintendents, the school board, and anyone else on the stage will actually be a part of the processional to start the program. We'll enter on the left side of the stage. We'll actually lead the group. Dr. Rollins and I will follow behind 4 students. Something new that also has been added is we have created these gonfalons, which you may not know what those are because I didn't either. They are flags that represent each of our schools, and they have the crest of all 3 of our high schools because our students will graduate from either HAR-BER, Springdale, or School of Innovation. And so those flags will be brought in before we enter in that processional. They'll come in, they'll lead our group, then Dr. Rollins and I will follow behind with you guys, and we'll all go sit on the stage. I think it will really just elevate our program and just make it a very nice event for all of our students and families as we celebrate this occasion. Beyond that, you guys will, as we've done in the past, our advisors will actually make sure you know which diploma cover to give students because, once again, there are 3 different diploma covers we're giving out. So there'll be an advisor on stage that will give you the diploma cover, but you will then still present it to the graduate. The graduate will come across the stage and then take a picture with Dr. Rollins and I as they exit back to their seat. I think other than that, it'll be pretty normal. I think it'll be pretty easy. We're excited. I really can't express how excited we are. And we're really excited about you being there and being a part of this. Do you have any questions for me?
We're excited for you.
Yeah, welcome. Yes.
Yep.
It's a good time.
It's a great time for you.
It is, yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Yes.
that picture. I think that's pretty good stuff right there. Just so we can see.
And it's changing every day. So once we get the final numbers, we'll send it to you again so you can be as excited as we are.
Good visual.
Thanks. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, everyone. I also gave you a packet, and I had it at each of your seats this evening. It's this folder here. It has everything you could want to ever know about the inaugural graduation ceremony for Don Tyson School of Innovation. We are also very, very excited to have our first ever graduating class, and so it is a very fun-filled time. We worked very closely with Dr. Davis and his team at Archer to make sure that our graduations in terms of logistics for you are very similar. That way you're not doing one thing Friday night and a different thing on Saturday morning. And so we too will be at Springdale High School in the Pat Walker Theater. Our ceremony begins at 9. However, our graduates, take it in. Our graduates will arrive at 8. We would welcome you to arrive between 8 and 8:15. We'll have hospitality room in the small band room, the same as the night before. However, we will serve a light breakfast for you that morning. We have included invitations to our senior breakfast on Friday and our senior celebration that's also occurring on Friday. We will also have you park in the east lot. There's a parking lot diagram there that we worked on with Archer. We'll have you park in the east lot, come in that east door, have you there in the small band room. You will be a part of our processional as well. And we have included a walking order for you there, and we'll also line you up that morning, so no worries there. We will enter from stage right. That's the only difference between us and Archer. You'll enter stage left when you process with Archer. You'll enter stage right when you process with us, and we'll walk you through all of that once we're there in the morning. Our keynote speaker this year is Governor Asa Hutchinson. We were honored that he is taking the time to come and speak with us. And at our graduation, you will actually present the diplomas to the students, and we have included an alphabetical list of students that you will present to. And so if you know graduates and you all want to switch and trade, you're more than welcome to do that. We just went ahead and divided it up for you just to make it easy in terms of that morning. Does anyone have a question for me about that? Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Good evening. Very excited about the weekend. Very excited about Saturday and graduation for Springdale High School. It'll be at 1 o'clock at Bud Walton. We've got 522 graduates this year. Joe Donaldson will be our guest speaker. You have a very detailed packet of information that covers pretty much everything that you're going to need to know about graduation. You will want to park in lot 62. That will be on the southeast side of Bud Walton. I believe the same as what you've done years past. You have a parking pass. I would recommend that when you put the parking pass on your dash that you also add HAR-BER's parking pass at the same time. You also have a floor pass that you will want to show any of the U of A personnel that you have access to the floor. But like I said, very detailed diagram information within your packet. You also have a list of names of graduates that you can look through. So if you see someone that you would like to give a diploma to, feel free to take that upon yourself to do that. But it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a good time for everyone. We're expecting great things. So, any questions about Springdale High School graduation? Yes, hospitality room will be the same as years past. So if you guys want to gather there, I think the parking should start to clear out about 11:30 or so to where you guys can get down there. But yes,
It's a mess down there.
it is a mess.
Today, and it's just a mess everywhere.
Yep,
So,
absolutely.
go early.
Yep, yeah, get there as quick as you can. I know it's a quick turnaround for you guys.
Softball's doing stuff, baseball's doing stuff, everything's awful.
Yep, that is correct. So it'll be a busy time down there. Yep. You are correct. Any other questions?
Well, Dr. Rollins, members of the board, thank you for this opportunity to visit with you about HAR-BER graduation. I appreciate Mr. Jones helping hand out the HAR-BER graduation packet.
What a guy.
He's a great guy. And really, when you think about it, what an exciting week for Springdale. You think about Springdale High School going for state championship in soccer, HAR-BER going for baseball, 1,400 graduates. Isn't this a great place to serve kids? Exactly. Sorry about that. Yes. Within your packet, you'll find, perfect. You'll find lots of information. We're expecting 638 graduates this weekend. Graduation begins at 4 o'clock, but obviously you'll have been through the graduation ceremony previously with Springdale High, so it's basically the same format. Within the packet, I've included how we will proceed into the platform, and then also names of individuals that you'll hand out the diplomas to. And of course, as Ms. Tischer said, if you want to switch based on who you know, that's great. This is, again, an exciting ceremony for our kids and for our families. We're honored to have Jennifer Pignate from KNWA News. She's going to be our guest speaker. Her story is one that I think will be touching to our kids. It's going to be a story about perseverance, paying it forward, and mentoring. And so we're excited about having her as our keynote speaker for that evening. Do you all have any questions about graduation? Live stream. So it's going to be a busy Saturday. So we're excited about it, and again, it's a great opportunity to serve in Springdale.
The time for the baseball game?
Baseball is at 10 o'clock. So shortly after the Don Tyson School Innovation graduation ceremony, tune in. And
their graduation should not be impeded?
No, sir. No, sir. Unless, hopefully, there's no rain issues, but or extra innings. So
That'd be a lot of extra.
anyway, thank you all.
Thank you, Paul. Great job.
awesome. These packets are incredible. Thank you very much. It helps our week get to go smoothly. We're very appreciative.
And for those of you that this will be your first graduation, I just want you to know that these administrators do a great job. They'll have boutonnieres there for you. They'll do everything you need. So it's really just a matter of showing up. They'll tell you when and where to pin something on you, and they'll take care of you, and you'll just go from one spot to another. So we're very, very lucky to have those individuals helping us. And there's really good food, yes. And I also know there's going to be the Italian cream cake, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So just letting you know that. One last item, and if I could have Dr. Davis come forward. Dr. Davis was involved, and I'm going to have him really share out because I can't do it justice. But he and Dr. Rollins had a great celebration on diversity and inclusion, and I'll let him share out about that event.
Actually, Dr. Rollins really ought to stand with me. No, you're not going to stand here? You need to stand. I can't do this without you, sir. On April 26th, the Democratic Caucus actually gives awards each year for diversity and inclusion in education. And this year, Dr. Rollins won, and I think they felt sorry, and they gave me an award too. So anyway, we got to be at that program together, and it was really a great honor for us to accept that award. And so it was in diversity and inclusion for the work that he's done with Springdale Schools, and then the work that I've done with Archer Learning Center. So
It was beautiful.
it was a very nice program.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, congratulations. Big deal.
Good evening. I have 2 items on your agenda tonight. Both will need action. The first one is our typical out-of-district transfer item. You'll see 2 students that want to transfer in from Prairie Grove. Those students are actually already attending our district but wanted to stay, and so we're doing the paperwork to make that happen for them. It's one family, siblings, yes. Typically, when they're listed on the same line like that, it's one family because they can put multiple siblings on one form. So I'll be happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, I'd ask for your approval of these students to transfer.
I make a motion that we accept the transfers as presented.
A second.
So we have a motion by Mrs. Cook and a second by Mr. Ramos.
Yes.
To accept the transfers as stated. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, thank you. The second item is seeking approval of the policy packet that I first shared with you at our, I guess it was our April work session at Crystal Bridges. I'll be happy to answer any questions on these. Otherwise, I would ask for your approval. I will give the caveat in the next month or so, we are going to have to do some more policy updates coming out of the legislative session. Obviously, changed several things. So consider this a warm-up, and we'll follow the same sort of process here in a couple of months to get our policies cleaned up based on legislation. So are there any questions about the policies before you today? Okay.
Make a motion to approve the policy revisions as submitted.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Hutchinson, a second by Mr. Emerson, to approve the policy revisions as stated and previously discussed. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Thank you.
Good evening once again. There are a couple of additions to my aspect here. The first is the accreditation status, and as you can tell on pages 83 and 84, we're very clean. We have to thank our administrators at each of the buildings, our registrars, and certainly Ms. D. Hobbs for making sure that each one of those data points that goes into the ABSCAN system is correct. At first, Dr. Rollins sent me a form one day, and he said, "What's all this? This green and red and blue?" And I said, "Oh, well, that's our accreditation report. That's a snapshot. There must be some interesting things happening in the system." And sure enough, there was. And so it wasn't really on our part. The Department of Education pulled some data that wasn't actually correct. And so we worked through this whole process, but it's absolutely, your school district's in great shape, accreditation-wise, and we thank Dr. Rollins and his whole team for making sure that that's taken place. So thank you. The second portion in my portion here is the submit a list of classified employees to be contracted for the 1920 school year. Ms. D. Hobbs pulled this together, and this is customary. We just provide them to you so you know that they're rollover from one year to the other. And the final aspect of my presentation is present the construction update. What you're seeing right now is a field report that Baldwin and Shell does for us, usually monthly. I just received that a little bit earlier in the day. So I've printed it for you. I know you like it when I send it out to you by email. I'll do that, Dr. Rollins, if that's okay with you, so you'll have those updates. Overall, we're in pretty good shape. As you know, we've had some inclement weather throughout the school year in order to try to get HAR-BER baseball and Springdale High baseball, softball all completed. But we're working, meaning our team, Jeremy's team, is working to complete the storm drainage over at HAR-BER. Baldwin Shell, they're going to sod and replace the sidewalks once the storm drainage is completed by the school district. The punch list after that will be taken care of. The lights are up, if you've seen them. They're great. In fact, I believe our baseball team at HAR-BER practiced one night under the lights, did some BP, so it was beautiful, and I appreciated that. I think things are going to be good. So weather has been the main issue, and as you know, that's why we were behind on both of the projects. At Springdale High, the foundation for the concession stand's been completed. Slabs should go in this week since we've had some pretty good weather. Our masons are on the softball dugouts and baseball dugouts, trying to get those up. And if you've been by Springdale High, they're red and white, and they're just beautiful. I think you're going to be beyond pleased with how they look in the end. I know HAR-BER's looks pretty good too. Some questions about whether they were going to be as equal to or better than what they've been playing on before. I think you'll be most pleased. So we're thankful for all the work that's going on over there. But all the underground electrical and plumbing is happening. One aspect of the plumbing that hasn't, and it's a grinder pump for the sewage. We found an alternative way to make it a less expensive process for the sewer. So we've done that, and that grinder pump should be in the next few weeks. Finally, the lights are up at Springdale High, and again, weather's been the main issue. If you've been out to the School of Innovation, steel is up. How many of you have been out there, been out that way or driven past? Looks great. In fact, when you drive by, you think, well, that's kind of tall, but when you go under it like I did the other day, it is enormous. It feels huge, almost overpowering. So the admin wing and the career center, they will be done. We're on target to be done with that aspect July the 10th of 2020. The PAC and the gym, they'll be finished later, December of 20, okay? Just so you have that in your mind. We'll be in there in July, but not in the PAC and the gym. Even though the gym's not a gym, it's a multi-purpose facility, I've got to quit saying gym. The biggest concern as of right now is we have some incomplete drawings on the PAC for the lighting and the sound. We're getting those together. It's been a work in progress. When you're doing something new and different that's not ever been done before, we're trying to make sure we've hit all those, to use a musical term, hit all the high notes that we need to. But we're getting there, so we're pleased. We're concentrating on finish all the underground and the rough end and plumbing right now. Jeremy and his team, Brian Burkett, they've been instrumental in help us be able to save some money and think forwardly, if that's a way to think, on making sure that we can maintain the building in an appropriate way. But all in all, SOI Phase 2, it's in good shape. They're on time, and Baldwin Shell's doing a great job. So if you have a chance just to drive through and do a drive-by, it's well worth it. Dr. Rollins and I are going on Thursday at 1 o'clock to tour a couple of places that have polished concrete that's been different. They've really come a long way. They, whoever they might be, have come a long way in getting polished concrete to look really quality. So we're going to look at a couple of places. We saw some examples that we weren't too pleased with. And so Dr. Rollins said, no, we're not, I don't want that. So we're going to look at something else. And
I can't imagine you saying that about something.
well, I'm very kind and in this relay of how that went. But he basically said, no, we're not having that. So anyway, no, he's got a great eye. Do you have any questions?
So speaking of,
yes, sir.
So Springdale High School and HAR-BER High School go back over the last couple of years, we've got tracks, both facilities.
We do.
New tennis upgrade at HAR-BER, and we've still got some work yet to do for tennis, for lack of better terms, equality.
2 more.
Equal.
We're going to try to do those
At
this
Springdale
summer.
High School.
Yes, sir.
We'll have competitive baseball. You feel confident next year
Oh, for sure.
on campus. Softball on campus.
Yes.
What am I missing? Major, just
18-hole golf course at each.
soccer.
Soccer, competitive soccer at both.
Right, so we've made a lot of progress over the last 3 to 5 years in getting
Our facilities
students on
lined up.
campus for competitive sports. That'll be good for our
It's been a yeoman's effort. Dr. Rollins and I have talked about it over and over, and I think you probably have as well, Mr. President. That's right.
I don't really
There's a lot
want to
of
answer right now, but Archer Learning Center timeline,
Right now, it
For
looks
the-
like we can be in the first week in August. That is a week prior to school, which,
can we write that down, or?
well, you can write it down, but as long as it's in pencil. Our efforts to get there have been tremendous. Jeremy, Mr. White, is he still in here? Yeah. He can tell you all the work. It's a hard hat area right now. If you walked inside, you would not believe what it looks like. It's been stripped to its bones in order for us to do bidding for our construction manager and architect to go forward. Most of the time, if you do a renovation, what's in the contract is all of it, demolition, then rebuild. We've been able to do the demolition and save the district literally hundreds of thousands of dollars. There is a cost to that still, obviously, because we're paying the people that work for us, but it's not paying percentage on top to the architect and engineer and the construction manager. So we've gotten it down to roughly $1 million. Dr. Rollins, is there something you ought to say?
Well, I appreciate Kevin's question, and it's an important one. From the standpoint of phasing, getting into phase 2, what about our auditorium? Will that come a little bit later, or is that looking like we can get it ready by August?
Are you talking about of SOI?
Yes.
Well, the SOI on phase 2, we won't be in the auditorium and the multipurpose facility until December. But he was talking about the alternative ed.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I may not have spoken up loud enough for you. So we should be in, but Dr. Rollins had instructed me to ask for a waiver or an extension to October 31st, and we've been granted that extension, should ALE need to stay.
Yeah, we talked about that, and that's our fallback, obviously.
Yes,
It's a
sir.
Pretty good security blanket for us, because we're already housed where we are now.
Very likely, our tech department will still be in there at that time anyway. We're not done and won't be done with that new tech facility that's adjacent to the maintenance building.
Okay.
We're having to do that on our own.
And then you sent us a note about Parson Hills.
Parson Hills, I did today. We're very excited with the look. I think I sent you a 50-page document or something. So probably a little overkill on that, but I'm excited.
No,
Just
great
excited about
great
how
for
it
that
looks.
part- Great for that part of town and
Absolutely.
that school. That's
It's
great.
going to change the front of Parson
Yeah,
Hills, and
That's great.
we're proud of the things that goes on inside, but we also need to be proud of that exterior as well.
And we'll
And
do
we
more
will.
school-based health clinics whenever possible.
I've been instructed to move forward to see if Bayari can be the next one.
That'd be great.
You're already the largest school-based health center in one district in the nation. And so that is a tribute to the board and to Dr. Rollins and this whole community about children's needs. When we meet their basic needs, then they have an opportunity to learn. So that's the overall premise. That's the teach 'em all motto, right? So, anything else, sir?
Oh, very good report. A lot
All right.
going on.
Thank you all.
Exciting. Thank you, Jerry. Okay. Mr. Hayes?
Good evening, Board and Dr. Rollins. I have 3 items for you this evening. The first item is the 6B budget. It's our federal funds to use for students with disabilities. It's pretty much exactly like it has been this current year. Those funds are expended on salaries and benefits to support those students. This will be tweaked between now and when the actual budget is submitted later on this year. But the Department of Ed has asked that we get board approval for this preliminary 6B budget. So I would ask that you consider that, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. 6B, yeah. Thank you. The second item I have for you is an Act 1599 disclosure. We have a substitute teacher by the name of Christy Harrison, and Ms. Harrison is a book author, and in order to allow her the opportunity to do a book talk at our schools for a nominal fee, we need to present this in open board meeting that the related party, and ask the board to pass a resolution authorizing her to do so.
Make a motion to approve the, what is it called exactly?
Act 15, or resolution with Ms. Harrison.
There you go, yes. What Kelly said.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion by Mr. Hutchinson and a second by Mr. Littrell to approve.
Related, Act 1599, related party.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. The final item I have for you this evening is the April financial report. I'm very pleased with where we are right now. You can see on the revenue report, we're right in line with where we were this time last year in terms of percentage. I'm always a little nervous this time of year because we have a long ways to go on collecting our property taxes. As I've shared with you before, all the tax bills have gone out recently. So in May, we get a big settlement from both counties, Benton and Washington County. I can tell you that the Washington County has already sent us $16 million this month, which I needed to hit my budget, so I was glad to see that. Benton County has also sent us a smaller amount. So looking online, looking like we're on target to reach our property tax budget for this year. On the expenditure report, you can see once again, we are almost exactly where we were this time last year, so things are looking good. So I'll be happy to answer any specific questions you may have. Our big payroll's in June. Yeah. That's when we'll have quite a few payouts to finish out the contract year, because we have to have everyone's contract paid out by June 30. So yes, our expenses will make gains on our revenue during the month of June. Sure will.
I'll make a motion that we accept the financial statements as presented.
Second.
So we have a motion by Mrs. Cook and a second by Mr. Reynolds to accept the monthly financials as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you very much.
Hi, Corey, come on down.
Good evening. It's good to be with you all tonight. Just as administrators and educators and students are busy wrapping up a great school year, SEA has been busy working hard as well. We've been really trying to show appreciation to all of our educators in the past few weeks. Last year, SEA, along with Fayetteville, Huntsville, Farmington, Bentonville, and Rogers, received a zone award from AEA for the amount of growth in our membership. And we voted and decided to use that money to have a celebration for pre-service teachers and early educators. So we did that a couple weeks ago, and those were pre-service teachers. I had to be corrected. When I was in school, they were interns. So our pre-service teachers in our district and in the other districts in our zone. So we had pizza, and we just got to visit with them and answer questions that they might have and give them advice for their first year in their classrooms and make connections with them. It was really refreshing for us. We learned some new things, and just to see the excitement that they have. They're really ready to have their own classrooms, and hope that that's a tradition that we can continue to offer them support, and so that they've made some contacts with people that they can talk to when they're in their own classroom and they need some words of encouragement or just a friend to talk to. We've also given away scholarships to 3 aspiring educators who are seniors in Springdale, so we're really proud of that. And we have worked with Dr. Harshaw to develop a survey for educators to determine the needs that they have in regards to special education. And we plan to use this information to develop professional development to meet the needs of our educators in our district once the surveys are completed. Along with the professional development aspect, you might have noticed that Chris is not here with me tonight. She is in Chicago at a trauma training, and she is really looking forward to bringing back the knowledge that she is learning to train and share with the other educators in our district. She's already been sending me text messages today, bouncing off ideas for me, so she's real excited about it. And we're really looking forward to working with the district to ensure that teachers have access to developmentally appropriate curriculum that allows for and enhances social emotional learning for our students. It's great to be with you all tonight. All educators at the end of the year reflect on the year, and I think that this has been a school year that we can all be proud of. We've all worked really hard, and it's, of course, thanks to you guys, thanks to Dr. Rollins. It's a year that we can be proud of, and your dedication is remarkable, and we appreciate all that you guys do for our students. So, thank you.
We appreciate you coming up here every week or every month.
Thank
Are
you.
ready for summer?
I am ready. I'm ready. Yeah, I have some.
Such a great mood.
Thank you. Yeah, I have
I'd like
some.
to teach the rest of the year, but-
Yeah, I'll do 2 weeks of a STEM session, a summer session at Young. So I'll do that, and I'm looking forward to that. That's fun. That's always refreshing to be able to do all those different activities that, have more time to get that in. So yeah, thank you. Y'all too.
Good job. Very good job.
Go watch your ball game.